Hello, my name is Freddie Roland, Division Chief of Training of Cal Fire Department, and this beautiful morning I want to talk about the HazMat truck. When we talk about the HazMat truck, HazMat is the acronym for hazardous material, and this truck is our HazMat special operations truck, right? Doesn't carry any water, it's not for fires, it's for specific hazardous materials emergencies that we can have around the county. Our county team is composed by Buda Fire Department, North Hayes Fire Rescue, San Marcos Fire Department, and Cal Fire Department. In a mutual aid agreement, all the fire chiefs agree to send an engine full of hazardous material technicians that can work to mitigate and control a hazardous material emergency in the county. So now, come and join me to check out what is inside the HazMat truck. Yeah, come on, join me. Let me show you the incident command post compartment. In this compartment right here, we have internet, we have our computers, so we can work in our research information, planning, mapping, all the documentation that we need whenever we're handling a hazardous material emergency. Also, you can see radio communication equipment to make sure that we can communicate with everybody on the field. You can see also controls for a camera that can make us get closer to the scene without sending technicians down the field. And lastly, we have a general control unit that pretty much is the brain for the entire truck. We can control the RPMs of the engine, we can control the generators, all those features. In the hazmat wear, part of the equipment that we use is to help us to monitor an area, make sure that it's safe, identify the lines. Where is the line where it dictates how where the bad hot zone is, or where is my cold zone, where is safe for the public to be. So here we have an area array. This is a 5-gas monitor, can measure the lower explosive limits, carbon dioxide, oxygen levels, hydrogen sulfide, hydrogen cyanide. Also is capable to detect radiation material, and also have a weather station. So with this monitor we can place it outside and try to monitor what is on the atmosphere. This works kind of like the same device, but just is a personal handheld. This is what our technicians use to go down the field and again keep them safe and try to see what we're dealing with. If we are talking about a radioactive material emergency, then we have our Ludlum monitor, where we can try to look for alpha particles, beta particles, or gamma particles. Um, Also, for the safety of our responders, we have this radiation meter that's going to hang in any part of them, and pretty much it's an alarm. If they get exposed to high levels of radiation, it's just going to let them know so they can back up and go to safe, and then we can regroup and do some plan. And lastly, in this table, I have a thermal imaging camera that can help us to read temperatures about a substance, a drum, a container, and we can identify if we have any notable changes on temperature that can advise us a possible explosion, a possible fire. Okay, when we're dealing with unknown materials, we don't really know. There's no identification. We can use this sampling kit so we can try to at least have an idea what we're dealing with. And that is going to include materials like ricin and anthrax. We can use this 2020 kit just to test and look for a positive on protein that are produced by living organisms that can be present on anthrax or ricin. For other unknowns, we have pH paper that can tell us how acid or basic a material is. We have fluorine tape. We have potassium iodine tape, and that specifically is to look for oxidizers. If we have oxidizers present in our material, that means that we have a big release of oxygen materials that can create an explosion or fuel an explosion. We have M8. M8 paper is going to help us to identify nerve agents in case of a bio welfare. And then we have our M9 that is going to help us to identify some other chemical agents present. Continuing with the identification process of an unknown material, we have a HazMat ID machine. This machine has a database of about 14,000 materials already in the brain. So we can go to the field, collect a sample, put it just right there. It can be a liquid or a solid. And then the equipment would read the material through an infrared light and would compare with the database, and at least that would give us an idea what kind of unknown material we have on the field. On this side of the truck, we have our PPE section. So you're gonna see on the top our level A suits are vapor suits. We have our level B suits, they're splash suits. You're gonna see our self-breathing containing apparatus. Um, Out down here in the middle, we're gonna have boots, gloves, and helmets that are part of the PPE section. In the top shelf, we're gonna have our patching kit. Every time that we find a container, diesel tank that is broken, have a hole or something, here we have the pieces that we can use just to stop a leak and repair that hole. Football and golf balls, again, another plug device that we can use to cover and seal holes on a container. Sampling material, and then we have here a grounding and bounding kit. Every time that we're dealing with a flammable liquid and the container is damaged and we need to transfer that, we need to make sure that we take away the potential of having electrical resistance spark. So we ground and bound that container. We can ground and bound the receiving container and then put them both together again to eliminate the electrical resistant spark that can cause probably an explosion later on. Here on the top tray of the truck, we have our decontamination equipment. Basically, it's a set of tools and containing plastic that we can set up on the ground. And whenever our technicians go down the field and they come out, we can decontaminate them, avoiding to spread the contamination to the people that is on the cold zone. We also can mass decontaminate people in need. We can do what we call technical decontamination and emergency decontamination, what is a life-threatening situation. Here on the bottom tray, we have a chlorine aid kit. This is for cylinders, chlorine cylinders that are 100 pounds or 150 pounds. And pretty much if we have a leak or a problem, we can put this hood on top of it, adjust it, and contain the leak until a third-party company can come and pick up the cylinder and deal with the leak. Here's a chlorine kit B. It's pretty much the same type of kit, but this one is made for 1 ton chlorine cylinders. We are going to find those 1 ton chlorine cylinders in water treatment plants, like the one on 150 that Cal Public Works deal with, but also Buda water treatment plant close to Main Street, Buda. So here in the top of the HazMat truck, we have 2 compartments. One of the compartments hold the absorbent pads, and those pads are for different materials. We have the white ones that are specifically for oils. The yellow ones are made to absorb acid and bases. The gray ones are kind of like general purpose, oil, coolant, solvents, and water. And then the green ones are for mild acid and bases. If we go to the second compartment of the truck, we're gonna see then a very elongate booms. This is absorbent material that we can use to protect rainstorms. Also, we can put it on top of water bodies to try to collect and absorb materials that are floating in the water body. And then we have a spare SCBA bottles for our SCBAs, and then our big light tower. If we have an elongate operation that goes over the night, we have a good light tower that can help us to have better light on our scene. Our HazMat team is part of the regional HazMat team that is composed by Williamson County HazMat team, Travis County Austin Fire Department has a HazMat team, and then Hayes County HazMat team. So we have the capability, in case that we have a large event, that we can respond with all of them. Also, we can work with them, bringing them to our county to help us if our event or emergency is big enough that we cannot handle it with our capabilities. That's what we have on the county HazMat team. This is our HazMat truck. Thank you for watching and joining us this day. I hope you have a great day and stay safe out there.